In the headlines, Federal College of Education Zaria lecturer regains freedom after 31 days in captivity. 27 High Court judges to face NJC probe panels over alleged judicial misconduct. Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority warns against illegal petrol sale as scarcity deepens. And away from Nigeria, ECOWAS raises the alarm as mpox spreads in Africa. Hello and welcome to News Update on Trust TV. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thank you for joining us and the details. A lecturer at the Federal College of Education Zaria and a public commentator, Ismail Sahabi, has regained freedom from captivity. Sahabi, who was picked up at Kasuwar Magani in Chukun local government area of Kaduna State, along with his brother Sidi Aliyu Sahabi and others, were released this Friday. The victims, who are residents of Tudunwada Zaria, conduct farming activities at Kasuwar Magani, where they were captured and spent 31 days in the hands of their abductors. Family source, who declined to disclose if ransom was paid before the release, said the victims are currently undergoing medical examination to ascertain their health condition. Anambra State Commissioner for Youth Development Patrick Agamba and his wife have been kidnapped. Sources said an aide of the commissioner, whose name was given as Kaje Ofia at an Onisha Youth, and a stalwart of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, the APGA, who was traveling with them, was shot dead by the kidnappers. According to reports, they were on their way to Abuja for the wedding of Governor Chukwuma Soludo's daughter, taking place on Saturday, August 17th, when they were kidnapped at the Kogi axis of the route. Confirming the incident, the press secretary to Governor Soludo, Christian Aburime, said the government was yet to find out the exact location where the incident happened, as Ubiaja, Edo State, was mentioned, as well as Kogi State. The commissioner's kidnapping incident comes hours after police authorities said that about 20 medical students had been kidnapped in Benue State. A former Labour Party presidential candidate, Peter Obi, has called for concerted actions against insecurity and economic hardship in the country, citing recent cases of kidnappings, including the abduction of the medical students in Benue and the state commissioner and his wife in Edo. Obi stated that it was time to declare war on this massive insecurity. In a statement on X on Saturday, Obi recalled that in the last 24 hours, several people have been kidnapped across Nigeria, including about 20 dental students from Maiduguri and Jos in Benue State. An Anambra State Commissioner and his wife were abducted in Edo State, while others traveling with them were killed. He described this as just a few of the many tragic incidents happening across the country. The former Anambra State governor therefore called for a united battle against the challenges facing the nation. Operatives of the Special Tactical Squad have arrested a 30-year-old woman identified as Hawa Yusuf for hiding one AK-47 rifle and 4 AK magazines inside a sack of Garri. Yusuf was arrested along the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway during a stop-and-search operation. The force spokesperson, Muyiwa Adejobi, disclosed this while parading the suspect at the STS headquarters in Abuja on Friday. Adejobi added that Yusuf confessed that a notorious bandit terrorizing Katsina State, Aminu Basulube, sent her to take delivery of the arms in the Danum Madam camp area of the state. Fielding questions from journalists, Yusuf said she did not know a gun was concealed in the sack of Garri. The Oyo State Police Command has paraded a suspected ritualist, Muhammad Adekunle, for allegedly killing and selling human parts in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. Police said the suspect, sometime in January 2024, together with Lukman Olobe and Ifa, all now at large, conspired to be killing people for money rituals. The report.
Speaking while parading the suspect at the command headquarters, Eleyele Ibadan, The Commissioner of Police in the state, Ayodele Shonubi, said the suspect sometime in the month of April 2024 and others now at large lured one Adekola Sodiq at Moniya, where they severed his head and legs, which were later sold to Obaleye Somi and Ismail Olalekan. Shonubi said the suspect further confessed that on the 7th August 2024, himself and others now at large stabbed one Malik Karim to death and severed his head and leg, which were sold to one Rashidat Akonji at Oje Market for the sum of 70,000 naira. We use human beings for rituals and also sell human parts to those that demand for them. I don't kill, but my house is a human abattoir. One Hamed and Muibi are the human butchers who are yet to be apprehended by the police. I started this sometime this year. Prior to this time, I have always brought clients. I pray that the government will pardon me because I will not return to this dirty job again. Shonubi, however, said the police will not relent in its efforts towards making sure that the state remains uninhabitable for crimes. Other suspects arrested by the command include armed robbers and suspected rapists, among others.
Away from security matters, the National Judicial Council (NJC) has constituted 4 probe panels to investigate 27 High Court judges in the country over allegations of judicial misconduct brought against them. This is as the council issued a letter of advice to Justice O.M. Olagunju of Oyo State High Court to be circumspect as a judicial officer before acting, even in the most challenging situation. Justice Olagunju was said to have used uncouth language in a letter addressed to the Chief Justice of Nigeria, challenging the Council's decision and its policy direction on the appointment of the President Court of the Customary Court of Appeal, Oyo State. At its 106th meeting, presided over by the outgoing Chief Justice of Nigeria, Olukayode Ariola, NJC considered the report of its Preliminary Complaints Assessment Committee on 22 petitions written against 27 judicial officers of the federal and state courts. Based on the report of the preliminary committee, the council empaneled 4 committees to investigate the allegations in the petitions that were found meritorious. A statement by the NJC Director of Information, Soji Oye, in Abuja, however, said the remaining 18 petitions were discontinued for lacking in merit, abandoned, or being sub judice. The federal government has threatened to withdraw the licenses of oil marketers found guilty of hoarding premium motor spirit, otherwise known as petrol, following the unabated scarcity in Abuja, Niger, Nasarawa, Kaduna, and many other states. Some states, especially those in the north, have witnessed continuous petrol scarcity for a while now, a situation that has since degenerated into many stations closing up due to a lack of supply. However, the federal government, through its Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, the NMDPRA, has issued a warning to oil marketers that filling stations that hoard petrol and sell to black marketers in the jerrycans would have their licenses withdrawn. The warning was handed down by the Executive Director of Distribution Systems, Storage and Retailing Infrastructure, NMDPRA, Obugo Okoha, in a video clip shared by the regulator during an inspection tour in Abuja.
You need to take it very serious. If you need security reinforcement, speak to your management. We will tell them. Our conclusion, our own understanding is that you're selling this from here. There is no other place that they manufacture it from. You understand? So please take this very serious. So this is a forewarning that from tomorrow, if we see peddlers around, we will not ask any question. Oh, we know your license. Okay? Please take it very serious. It's posing safety concerns for Nigerians. No selling into your hands, no after dispensing, and you make sure that peddlers are not within your proximity. Proximity includes across the road and around here. We will hold you responsible from today if we see that going on.
A Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, on Friday sealed the popular FAPSI table water factory situated in the Kubwa area of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The commission, in a post on its official X handle, said the development followed a complaint by consumers alleging consumption of expired sachet water containing microbes. The post revealed that a subsequent investigation uncovered significant violations of consumer protection regulations, stressing that the company has failed to provide crucial product information, including production date, expiration date, and batch numbers. The commission further stated that FAPSI table water lacked essential compliance records necessary to ensure product safety and quality for consumers. Although the company claimed a 2-month shelf life for its product, FCCPC insisted that the absence of production and expiration date renders this claim unverifiable.
I cannot, because as far as I'm concerned, there's no, what you are doing here is part of a conspiracy.
You are on record, sir.
Yes, that's why I'm let the world know. Because I cannot read when you are already inside my facility as part of an ongoing conspiracy.
Are you aware of the mandate of this country?
Are you aware of 419 in this country?
Are you aware of this mandate?
Are you aware of blackmailing in this country? Are you aware of banditry? But as soon as I'm concerned, you are nothing but conspirators. I mean, you are part of the 419 conspirator. It's someone they want to serve us. But somebody will not talk to why are you serving the person in someone?
Sir, everything that has transpired here, with every sense of respect.
Yeah.
We came here and I spoke to you, called me names, in spite of the fact that I can identify myself. I presented a letter authorizing me on behalf of the federal government of Nigeria to do what I'm doing. You refused, sir. In fact, we have had more cooperation from your staff, and I speak to their integrity as patriotic Nigerians. And I'm telling you, sir, to look at the document that I gave to you to read. You decided to call me all manner of names.
In its continuous efforts to prevent unqualified graduates from obtaining the National Service Certificate, the National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) says a total of 54 corps members who were illegally mobilized by the University of Calabar have been demobilized. The NYSC Director General, Brigadier General Waidi Ahmed, disclosed this on Saturday in Abuja. He also said they will face legal prosecution. According to him, another 19 among them who initially registered online for mobilization have been prevented from service, while 4 certificates of the National Service for other culprits were not produced by the scheme. The Director General also commended the Vice Chancellor of the University of Calabar, Florence Obi, for her forthrightness to have earlier hinted the NYSC on the mobilization of unqualified graduates from her institution. Speaking further, General Ahmed said NYSC would leave no stone unturned towards sanitizing its mobilization process. General Ahmed stated further that the scheme will intensify its collaboration with all the heads of core, producing institutions and relevant stakeholders in the country in order to stop the menace. He called on all employers of labor in the country to verify the authenticity of certificates of national service being presented for job placement from the NYSC. Moving on to more stories, farmers in Sokoto State are anticipating a bumper harvest of cereal grains this rainy season, following a challenging year marked by poor yields due to the severe drought in parts of the country. Unlike last year, when the drought significantly affected their crops, farmers are now optimistic about a successful season, expecting an abundant yield of millet, beans, guinea corn, and groundnut by the end of the season. Trust TV's Yushao Adamu speaks with some farmers and filed in this report.
Farmers in Sokoto State have begun reaping the rewards of this year's harvest season, with the early signs promising to significant success. Some farmers who started harvesting millet last week are optimistic about a bumper crop by the season's end. Unlike last year, when drought and the high cost yielded only meager returns, those who have already begun harvesting are heading home with hundreds of bags of millet, a sign of a promising and fruitful farming season. This year there is improvement because we have sufficient rain. Last year by now, the season was caused by drought and therefore we did not get enough grains. But this year, as you can see, we are about to start harvesting millet, yet the rain is still dropping virtually on a daily basis. Alhamdulillah. The promising start to this year's harvest season has boosted the hopes of farmers in Sokoto State as they look forward to similar success with other crops like groundnut, beans, and the guinea corn, which are yet to ripen. Many farmers are now anticipating a significant increase in their overall yield this year, confident that the favorable conditions will result in bountiful harvest across all their crops. We thank Almighty Allah. This year we have gotten enough millet compared to last year. Although we are faced with serious economic hardship, provided you have applied enough fertilizer, you will surely get a large quantity of millet this year because the rain is sufficient. We will start harvesting our millet in the next 2 weeks. Some farmers that harvested millet in some parts of the state had witnessed an increase of between 40 and 60% of their production compared to last year. There is difference between this year's farming season and last year. We thank God we have gotten enough rain this year, and therefore we are expecting a bumper harvest. From all indications, farmers will witness bumper harvest at the end of the farming season. This year, we are expecting to harvest more than what we had gotten in the last 1 or 2 years, and we are hoping that prices of foodstuff will drop in Sokoto this year. As a result, government at all levels are now expected to adopt strategies that will enhance the productivity of local farmers, aiming to alleviate the hardship faced by the common man. This call for action reflects the growing recognition of agriculture's role in driving economic development and improving the lives of the ordinary citizens. Yushao Adamu, Trust TV News, Sokoto.
Disabled persons in Jos, including the blind, physically challenged, paraplegic, and amputees, have voiced their concerns over the worsening economic hardship that is severely impacting their lives. During an interaction with Trust TV on Friday, the affected individuals expressed how the recent nationwide protests in Plateau State have further compounded their struggles amidst the already difficult circumstances. Take a look.
These disabled individuals, who often gather around Jos Central Mosque after a day of begging, share their concerns over the nation's current economic hardship, which is having a profound impact on their lives. They reveal that the recent nationwide protest in Jos has worsened their challenges, with the week-long curfew in the state making it even harder for them to obtain food, further exacerbating their daily struggles. The high cost of living has indeed had a significant impact on our lives because we depend on other people to sustain our lives. To me, the hunger has affected almost 90% of Nigerians. During the protest, a curfew was imposed in Jos, and it wasn't easy for us during the period, considering that we have to beg every day before we get what we eat. The current economic hardship has also taken a toll on us. When the economy is already biting harder, the government-imposed curfew has added insult to injury. We couldn't go out to beg for food. We have found ourselves in a difficult situation. If we are able to get something from Good Samaritan, we manage to buy Garri with it because we can no longer afford rice or flour. Lamenting the rising cost of living, the beggars expressed frustration that government at all levels has failed to include them in any form of palliatives. They said, despite their vulnerability, they feel overlooked and forgotten in the effort to alleviate the economic challenges facing the nation. We are not getting anything from the government. We do hear about palliative, but has not reached us. We depend on ordinary citizens to survive, no matter how small it is. But on the side of government, we are not seeing anything. Despite our desired need, we have not received any palliative from the government. As life becomes increasingly difficult, it is crucial that both the government and affluent individuals extend their support to us. We have repeatedly reached out to the government for assistance, but our pleas have been met with indifference. The beggars appeal to both the federal and state governments to recognize their rights as Nigerian citizens and provide the support they are entitled to. They emphasize that, like every other citizen, they deserve access to resources and assistance, urging the authorities to prioritize their welfare in policy decisions and palliative distributions. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
In business, the Vice President Kashim Shettima has charged the Rural Electricity Agency, REA, to redouble efforts in its bid to accelerate Nigeria's journey towards universal electricity access and ensure Nigerians get more access to power supply. Accordingly, he granted REA's request to enter into a partnership with the National Economic Council, NEC, to have access to state governors and engage them in the drive towards electrifying communities across the country. Shettima gave the advice in a statement on X on Friday when a delegation from REA led by its managing director and CEO Abba Aliyu made a presentation on the National Electrification and Implementation Plan to the Vice President in Abuja. This is just as the agency said it has secured a grant in a statement of $750 million from the World Bank and African Development Bank, AFDB, for rural electrification projects across Nigeria. Urging the REA to double efforts in giving more Nigerians access to electricity, the VP commended the agency for doing an outstanding job, taking into cognizance its efforts in several other sectors. He, however, scored the agency low in terms of publicity, noting that it has performed poorly in creating awareness and keeping Nigerians apprised of ongoing efforts to address the electricity deficit in the country. Away from Nigeria, the ECOWAS Regional Center for Surveillance and Disease Control has reported that monkeypox has continued to spread in the region, with 44 confirmed cases and 1 death recorded by the end of Epi Week 33, 2024. Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Liberia, and Ghana are the hardest hit countries in ECOWAS. The report was released on Friday, August 16th, and made available to journalists on Saturday. With 37,583 cases and 1,451 deaths recorded this year, the continent is facing a massive public health emergency. The Democratic Republic of Congo is bearing the brunt of this crisis, shockingly accounting for 96.3% of all cases and 97% of deaths continent-wide in 2024 alone. The first half of the 2024 saw an explosive rise in infections across Africa, with a staggering 14,250 mpox cases and 456 deaths, representing a 160% increase in cases and a 19% jump in fatalities compared to the same period last year. The DRC remains the epicenter of the outbreak, with a case fatality rate of 3.2%, underscoring the severity of the crisis. The African Center for Disease Control recently declared mpox a public health emergency for continental security, as the virus has spread across several countries. And in sports, in a big boost for participating clubs in the CAF continental competitions, namely the Total Energies CAF Champions League and Total Energies CAF Confederation Cup, African football governing body CAF has announced a $50,000 financial boost as part of their commitment to promote football in Africa. The development, which has since garnered applause in an initiative of Patrice Motsepes, CAF's president, who has promised to improve club competitions and provide more financial assistance to club. And with that, we have come to the end of News Update on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news programs and documentaries. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for watching.